Hey guys, I got a special project that I want to share with you. At least it's a special project for me because I need to repair or restore this sundial. And it's not just a regular sundial, it's one that my grandfather made. He was a blacksmith in a place in the north of the Netherlands called Delfzijl, and he made this in 1965. So a long time ago, and it was made for the local police office or police station, and it stood there for all these years, but in these years it got quite damaged and some parts are missing, and I contacted the office there and asked if they wanted to have it restored, and they said yes. So that's my project for today. I grounded off the base and took it in my shop, and let's have a closer look at the damage that I need to repair. So maybe you can see, but some of these rods are quite bent or even broken off. This also got bent and needs some straightening. It needs a little bit of polish, and originally there was a point on here, and I'm not sure what the design of this point was. I couldn't find any old pictures where it was still on there, but I'm guessing that at least it should be somewhere to fit this design. And there's a lot of welding down there, which I am pretty sure that was not original, and so maybe it was already repaired at one point, but I think these welds were my grandfather's. He was quite a good welder, I think, but the rest looks a little bit terrible. And also interesting is, you see the letters, that's also all welded, all stick welded, stainless steel. So let's start with straightening these out and also welding this one back on. Alright, I think I got this one straight again. Before I weld this, I want to straighten this line here. There's a little bend in here, but also on the other side here is quite a large bend, so I need to change that, shift it all a little bit, and then weld it. So maybe it looks a little bit like I'm just hammering around, but I do have a process. Just focus on one bend at a time, and sometimes supporting it on the other side, or using two hammers above each other to support the tube or the structure on the other side. But sometimes just free in the air to move it or just a tight bend. So in that way I can move it around a little bit and focus one bend at a time, not what is above or below, but one bend at a time, and then move my way up, and that works quite alright. So I just did this one, and it was all bent up here and all the way to the top, and it was bent over here and in here, and now it's nicely straight again. Also this one still need to adjust this one a little bit, but this one is welded. There's a little kink in here, but I can't get that out because it's welded on that part. But I guess that's original, and yeah, it doesn't need to be perfect. I mean, it can be still look handmade, and it was. But let's continue and make it nice and as straight as possible again by hand. Next, this one, bending it and welding it on here. So bottom here is the original weld, and it broke off at the edge. And that should hold. Just a little bit more straightening over there. So, alright, got everything nice and straight. Top one is welded, fixed on the cross support, but this one is still sliding, and I also want to fix that. So I will weld these next, because if you can look from the top, that the radius, especially of the bottom one here, is too tight, and there it's too wide. So I need to fix that. The other ones are nice, and everything is nice and straight again, as you can see. That one is nice, and all these cross support lines are also nice and straight. Alright, so everything is welded, everything is nice and straight. Next step is fixing the tail of this arrow, but I want to show you guys something in between. It's a very special feeling that my grandfather made this, and knowing that yeah, he doesn't know I went into metalwork or did something like this to repair it. So that's an honor. And yeah, unfortunately my grandfather passed away when I was only 1 year old, so I never get to really meet him or see anything of his work. But it's a real special to do this for me, for him, or for our family. And just take you around in the shop. It's a bit messy, but we did a shop tour already a few times. This here is my grandfather's shop, and you can see it's a blacksmith, power hammer, some big anvils, nice big round anvils, quite a bench with the vise, some tools. The light is making it a little bit difficult to see. Some blacksmithing equipment, and the boy that you see there is my uncle, and this is just one part of his shop that is also still part of my shop. Alright, nice and straight. And now I need to go to the lathe and turn something like this shape, but then taper it down, I think like a little Christmas tree. I think that should fit the top over here. So let's make a not too sharp point here at the tip of the arrow. Got this Christmas tree ready. It's bent a little bit, so I need to bend it back. I think originally it was threaded on and broken off, but I'm just gonna weld it on because I don't want somebody else to thread it off and take it home for Christmas. So bend it straight and then weld it on the top. Never had that happen before. So the next step, grinding all these ugly welds off. I think they're not original, and yeah, let's clean it up at least a little bit. So the last step is to clean it up a little bit. I don't want to take out all the scratches or dents or dings, or it's an old piece and it's okay. It can be still look old, and I don't want a mirror finish, but I do want to clean it up a little bit. The mirror finish was not original, so I don't want that. But just clean it a little bit and give it some polish. I'm using these Norton Rapid discs, very fine, and start with the coarse and then finish with the fine. I'm skipping the medium step. I don't usually use that. This works fine as a step in between. So let's continue working. So I got everything nice and clean, got all the welds off, clean it up a little bit, give it a polish, not too much, new point for the arrow, and everything nice and straight. So now it's time to put it back at its original place.
Langs zonder, alsof het wat te viel. En alle nieuwzon, die van weer opnieuw. Heb overal als we, en volks als het verhoes. Ik ken de krogen moet mij kop, maar langs vuil niet goed. Als naam ze over Hamburg, hou gauw dat zo beviel. Ik wil het luist bedanken, in de ogen van Delfzijl.
So I got everything mounted, welded. Turned out I had some trouble with the welding, that the base was filled with concrete and that wasn't weldable, because as soon as it heated up, then the concrete somehow it blew out. No experience with that before, but I had to drill out all the concrete and then it was alright. So, job is done. Alright guys, that was it. Job is done, and as you can imagine, it was a special project for me, and I hope you enjoyed it as well, and hope to see you next time. Bye bye.